Happy weekend, everybody. We're going to do a Canadian social experiment this weekend with this show. Might as well. We've got a couple days before we're back Monday, so let's use this episode to do this. It's kind of important in my eyes, so let's give it a try. Let's work together as a group. Today, we're doing something just a bit different. I'm asking all of you, our loyal conservative audience, and let's face it, most of this audience is conservative, to help me with something. I want you to hit share right now, if you can, on this video, and I want you to text it to specific people, email it, post it on Facebook, whatever it takes. I'm asking you to share this video with liberal supporters you know. You know the ones, your friends, your coworkers, your cousins, the one uncle who always brings up CBC at dinner and has a weird crush on Rosemary. Send them this video because today we're going to ask them some questions. Most importantly, the whys. Let's go.
Welcome to Bakes on Things.
Welcome back to Bakes on Things. If you're liberal and you've had this video shared with you, welcome. I hope you enjoy this episode. We do want to get some really good Canadian conversation going because we've spent months on this channel breaking down the liberal record for the most part. We've obviously supported conservatives as well. We've exposed what we feel are economic failures of this current government, the climate contradictions, and the trade collapse we feel like we're seeing around us. And the spin factory, of course, that we feel Mark Carney's leadership is showing. But now we want to hear from you, the liberal supporters, directly. We want to hear real arguments, though. So I want to be clear. And this is the rule of all of this. If it doesn't happen this way, they'll get deleted. We are not here for name calling. No Maple MAGA in the comments. We won't put any woke liberal slap fights in the comments either on our side. We don't need more elbows up politics, so leave that aside. What we're asking for are real answers from you. Fact-based, thoughtful, honest. Because there are Canadians out there, we know it, and we have good friends who are good, intelligent people who still believe in the Liberal Party. The problem is a lot of the comments we get on channels like this one are pretty unhinged. So we're giving you guys a chance to tell us in the conservative base why you're supporting Mark Carney here, now, and still. And listen, it only works if our group shares this. So if we keep this video in our own bubble, nothing's going to happen this weekend, nothing's going to change. But if, to my loyal audience, you share this with your liberal voters, all of the ones you know, and if they actually respond, then we've got kind of a cool, powerful, real nationwide social experiment for that happening this weekend. If not, this video is going to flop like a dud, but that's okay. If you won't share it, it won't work. But let's get started. So, liberals, if you have joined us because this video was shared with you, I want you to share in the comments your answers to the following questions. I have about 10 questions that I want to ask about both Mark Carney and the Liberal Party and why you support them. And I'm not going to be belligerent about this or anything, just give you my perspective and then ask why you support. So the first one is, why do you still support a liberal party and a liberal government when $5.9 million of merchandise trade deficit happened in May alone? Now, we know that number isn't speculation. It came from Statistics Canada yesterday, and it's one of the worst on record. Not the worst, but one of. You can't claim to be managing the economy when we're bleeding this month month after month. So when you look at trade, how do you propose to pay for that deficit when the U.S. is out? Question 2. Why do you trust Mark Carney's leadership after he caved on the digital services tax without securing anything in return? And if you don't believe he caved, please explain why. He blinked in our eyes, Trump pushed back, and Carney kind of folded. No concessions, we didn't get any deal out of it, and just another empty headline. So I'd love to hear your perspective in the comments below as to why that happened and why you still support it. Also, why is it okay that $300 million in taxpayer money was spent on climate programs that produced no measurable job growth and no verified emission reductions? An audit was just done on this and Canadians were promised results. Instead, we got vague language, pilot projects, and no accountability. The truth of all of this is he being Mark Carney, campaigned on doing more of these programs, but if they aren't working, how can we support it? Also, why did the federal government order $300 million worth of ferries from China while Canadian shipbuilders sit idle? I thought China was the one that had a bounty on one of our MP candidates' heads. You know, This is one of the things I'm really concerned about. We've been told that China is the enemy, but we're giving massive contracts to Beijing for ferries in BC. Why is this? Why do you support it? And what do you think is happening here? Why are you okay with leasing American Black Hawk helicopters when we had no Canadian made alternative even on the table for this solution? It was just announced this week that this is happening, and you want us to buy local, support Canadian manufacturing, and yet here we are again defaulting to foreign gear like we have really no aerospace industry of our own, except that we do. So why didn't we go to it? My next question obviously is a tougher one. It's why is Canada still clinging to rigid commercial carbon taxes when the European Union is now rolling all of theirs back? The EU has already begun softening its net zero approach, exempting industries and exploring credits. So, if you're supporting Mark Carney and the Liberal government, explain that to me. We're still marching toward climate purity while the world recalibrates itself. So, what is there to support here, and why do you back it? The next question: why do you tolerate Carney's speeches? Most of them are long. Most of them are long on fear and short on vision. And we've listened to them in depth, and we've heard nothing but doom, gloom, and generic warnings. No strategy, no real fire to the speech, just another, what we feel is a technocrat parroting economic buzzwords. So when you hear those speeches, and be specific about which ones inspire you the most and why? And what is he saying that makes you inspired? Why was it acceptable for Parliament to rise for 12 weeks with no budget passed while major global events escalated? To me, that's not governance. It's absenteeism. What is it to you, Liberals? And when Carney finally speaks, it's usually from a podium now because he's not in Parliament. So he's not speaking from a seat in Parliament, meaning decisions can't be made. Why do you support this? Why do you stand by the Trudeau legacy that killed Canadian energy independence in Bill C-69? It shelved pipeline projects and pushed us into dependency on foreign oil and foreign policy. Canada could have been an energy superpower out of all of this, but instead we became a moral lecture wrapped in a regulatory chokehold, and nothing is changing so far. Even though Bill C-5 exists and passed, no projects are moving forward just yet. So explain to me why you support this. And lastly, why do you keep supporting a government that overregulates you, that overspends your money, and consistently underdelivers on innovation, on affordability, and on national pride? Whether it's our food prices, our housing concerns, our international world standing, we are falling behind on all of those categories, and the only constant seems to be 11 years of Liberal rule. So that's my challenge to you as a Liberal viewer today. I don't want vitriol and I don't want name calling. What we really want to our Liberal supporters who are watching this, again, we're not here to insult you as conservatives. We're here to ask you, as fellow Canadians, do you still believe in this campaign mess that we foresee happening here? And if so, why? Because we genuinely want to understand. If you have answers to these questions, please drop them in the comments below. Again, try to be respectful. Let's see where you stand. Let's see if you can defend the record calmly and with evidence. Because so far, to be quite frank with any Liberal viewer watching this, anytime I see comments from Liberals, it's just calling me Maple MAGA with no actual facts, no actual stories behind it, no actual research or counter arguments. So to our conservative audience, though, this is the test. We need to share this video and get answers to these questions. I really, truly do want to know where people are coming from in their thought process. Share it in your group chats, in your Facebook feeds, in every corner of this country where people are fed up but polite. And if you're Liberal watching this and you want others to answer from your own group, please share it as well. If you want change, it starts with questions. We need to do this as citizens, not just as a government. And if we don't ask them, who will? Thanks for watching. I appreciate you sharing, liking, and subscribing. Don't forget to make those comments down below. This social experiment only works if we get into the comments and have a conversation. Thanks so much for watching again. This is your moment to start the conversation. Liberals, the floor is yours. Let's see what you have to say. See you on Monday.